Sometimes you get this kind of a mindset na parang entitled ka na, oh, maganda na eskwela ko, dapat di na ako nagdidivisoria. I think it's not about the price that you will get right now. It's the value of the business that you will receive afterwards. Hindi, totoo yan, di ba? Importante sa tao rin kasi, when you negotiate, may win-win situation. If you do your work, you do your business well, your customers will be the one to sell for you. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It is a calling. 3 years into my marriage, I got into debt. Nabaon ako sa utang ng 32 million pesos. But for those that are willing to go through it, start now, start small, fail fast. You can always adapt and grow, listen to your customer so that you'll be able to be adaptable, flexible enough to grow kung ano yung tinasabi ng target.
Gusto nyo bang kumita ng online at syempre naman, nagbebenta kahit na kayo ay nasa bahay? Nako, kailangan pakikinggan nyo tong episode na ito. In this episode, may makakasama po natin ang isa talaga sa haligi. When it comes to online e-commerce and selling here in the Philippines, is otherwise known as the Jack Ma or the Alibaba of the Philippines. Huwag na natin patagalin. Let us welcome the owner and the founder of Great Deals E-Commerce, no other than Mr. Steve C. Palakpakan! Yes!
Hi everyone! Hello Chinky!
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
I really am so proud. Sobra akong proud sa na-achieve mo sa buhay. Pero bago natin pag-usapan, actually, just to give you a perspective, we go way back. Gaano katagal na tayo magkakilala?
1990s. Issue Genki Squalin.
Oo, 1990s. Hindi, prior to that pa kasi yung parents namin, yung father niya at saka father ko, di ba?
Sa tela.
Nasa textile business. So, laking Divisoria?
Laking Divisoria.
Laking Divisoria rin po. Kaming mga taga-Tondo po, we go way back. Pero yun nga, pag-uusapan po natin, how did the Steve C start, di ba? Bago pa tayo mag-Great Deals E-commerce. Pero paano ka ba nag-umpisa?
A little bit background. So, I've been always in business. Never been employed. As early as age 8, I started selling.
Grabe, no?
No? And grade 2 ako. I still remember that day. Malakas ako kumain eh.
Obviously.
So, gusto ko kumita extra. So, what I do is, bumibili ako ng sticker pad sa tapat ng school lang. 5 pesos yun. Tapos, gugupit-gupitin ko yun para mabenta ko sa mga klase ko ng piso at 50. Tapos, kumikita ko ng mga additional 2 pesos pag naubos ko yun. Binibili ko ng Wonder Boy. Hindi ko lang alam kung maalala nyo pa yung Wonder Boy na chichirya. I would say first venture into trading or into business. So, hindi ko alam saan ako nakuha yung idea na yun, how it came about, but I think it was innate in us, family of entrepreneurs.
Si Papa mo talaga nagbi-business na nung lumalaki, nakikita mo
Yes. So, kasi nung as early as 4-5 years old, pinapapunta namin ng tindahan. At may piso kami at saka merienda. Kada bantay ng tindahan. So, hinahabol ko yung merienda.
Pagkain na naman, no? Yun yung upbringing. So, exposed ka na mag-business, tapos nag-start ka mag-business. Naalala mo ba nung nag-summer vacation, di ba? Pag nagsa-summer, nasa tindahan ka rin ba?
Nung older na, summer vacation ko is nag-ahente ako ng tela. That's part of our training, even for all of my siblings, na talagang sumasabak kami, get to know the business, how to grow the business.
And FYI guys, no, kung mapapansin nyo, kaming dalawa, singkit po kami. We're Filipino-Chinese, no? Kasama ba talaga sa kultura ng Filipino-Chinese yung ipapasok ka talaga kahit summer, di ba? Sa mga work. Bakit?
I think it's part of training because I also give training to my kids at a very young age. Nagbabazar kami, sinasama namin sila, magbebenta sila ng mga baked chocolates din nila. So what I learned from my parents, I think I also pass on to my kids. And I think for Filipino-Chinese, I would say money or the value of money is really taught at a very early age.
Di ba, yun nga, yung let's talk about yung Filipino-Chinese background, no? How does it affect yung perspective mo pagdating sa pagkita ng pera muna? Let's talk about kita and then next yung pag-manage ng pera.
Ito, naalala ko, palagi sinasabi ni Chinky, di ba? Mag-aral ka mabuti para paglaki mo.
Tayo ka?
Tayo ka negosyo. Yung isa naman, pag-aral ka mabuti para makahanap ka ng magandang trabaho. And I think for our background, for our culture, it's innate for us to be entrepreneurs. Because we were
Na-mindset na yun.
challenged, we were built na magnegosyo ka. Yun yung pinaka-upbringing. No? And then the value of money, hindi napupulot lang ang pera. So you have to work hard for it. And I think those are the values that we inculcate in our culture for us to have a more stable financial foundation.
Yeah, ito lang just to give you also perspectives. I know their family background. Si Papa Jesus, which is my ninong also. Di ba during that time, I think hindi naman kayo mahirap eh. Comfortable naman ang buhay nyo nung lumalaki kayo, di ba? Siya lang, di ba? Pero despite of that, di ba, paano naman kayo tinuturuan? Hindi kayo, na-spoil ba kayo? If you can still remember.
Mukhang hindi kami na-spoiled eh. No? Kasi I still remember, this was an event sa buhay ko. I think first time ko i-share dito.
Wow.
Sunday siya,
Okay.
pinapunta ko ng Divisoria ng tatay ko.
Okay.
Sa sobrang pikon ko, sabi ko, linggo, papupunta mo ng Divisoria para magbantay ng tindahan. Sa Lasal mo pa ako pinaaral para mag-Divisoria lang.
So
So yun yung sumbat ko pa sa tatay ko nung time na yun, sa sobrang galit.
ano ka na, almost 20s ka na during that
Hindi, well, that story resonate in me because parang, ano siya eh, parang challenge sa akin na parang, ano ba to? Pinaaral mo na ako sa magandang eskwelahan, papupuntay mo na akong Divisoria.
Bantay tindahan.
Diba? Parang magbantay tindahan. No? But, you know, after I graduate, I still went back to Divisoria naman eh. And become an entrepreneur talaga, help out the family business. But during that time, sometimes you get this kind of a mindset na parang entitled ka na, oh, maganda na eskwela ko, dapat di na ako nagdi-Divisoria. Ayan, no? So sa akin, I think walang work that is beneath us. Work is work. Whatever role binigay sa atin, I think we need to be faithful on that role. And the Lord will be the one to bless us.
So ano yung naturo sa iyo yung pagpasok mo sa Divisoria, pag-negotiate mo, nagbenta ka ng tela, ano yung napulot mo na nagagamit mo ngayon sa negosyo mo?
In terms of my core capabilities, negotiating is a key strength of mine. Sabi nila,
Totoo yun. Ang kuripot nito. Hindi, sobra. Mahirap makipag-negotiate ito. Grabe.
Hindi, pero kung investor kita, masaya ka.
Oo. Pero kung ikaw bibili, ayoko. Hindi, grabe to Tapos, alam mo, sa sobrang tatawanan ka lang nito kasi he has a smiling face. So, mainis ka talaga yung parang, sige na. Tapos, tawa-tawa lang yun. Nakakainis talaga to.
Pero I think, syempre may kanya-kanyang core strength. So sa akin, negotiating skills was developed at an early age because I have to talk to a lot of people. You know, of course, in terms of trading, you get the lowest price so that you can control the price what you buy. But when you sell, market conditions yan. So sa akin, when you get the price at a very good price, you have more leeway or wiggle room in terms na pagbebenta ng produkto mo higher or lower. Importante yon na magkano yung magiging puhunan ko sa produkto. Most of us sa online sellers, we go to Divisoria, Baclaran, Quiapo to buy things. But if we can get it at a very much lower price, going an extra mile to look for the right supplier, I would do that.
Yeah.
Because piso is piso, 2 piso is 2 piso. Pag you multiply it by 10,000, 20,000, ang laki ng impact niya
Alam mo,
sa negosyo.
guys, ito para sa mga nakikinig nanonood ngayon, huwag mong sasabihin piso lang yan. Piso lang naman yan eh. Pero kung ang purchase order mo, 100,000, ang impact nun, 100,000 pesos. Kung PO mo ay 1 million, ang pinag-uusapan natin 1 million pesos. Kaya nga, di ba?
Explain ko. For example, most of the time, tayo mga Pilipino, we just go to the Divisoria, bibili tayo. Pag nakita yung produkto, hindi ka naiikot. Ako ang gagawin ko, ito yung strategy ko. Bago ako pumunta ng China, pupunta ako ng Divisoria, yung 168 Mall, yung mga 8 level 88, iniikot ko yan. Titignan ko yung mga presyo. Para pupunta ko sa China, alam ko mas kailangan 20 to 30% cheaper.
Lower.
Lower.
Okay.
So, binibilang ko rin yung puhunan ko, magkano gagastusin ko sa trip. Ito yung hotel ko, ito yung airplane ticket ko, pagkain ko, dapat lampas-lampas yung makukuha kong stock para covered na yung, alam mo naman, masarap ang pagkain sa China, covered na rin ng pagkain natin and everything, no? Baka mamaya akala nila sobrang foodie ako. Foodie lang po, pero hindi naman masyadong Para ma-cover natin yung extra cost in traveling, but you get 20 to 30% cheaper yung product mo. It's gonna be, if it's worth 1 million binili mo, that's 300,000.
Yeah.
Yung 300,000, hindi mo naman ginastos yun for the trip to the China.
Tama.
So sa akin, laki extra earnings yun.
Yeah. Para sa mga taong ngayon na nagte-take ng notes, let's learn from a practitioner and a person who succeeded. Number one, kung gusto niyo magnegosyo, research. Tama? Talaga yun. Kasi minsan, tinatamad na mag-research. Diba? Kung ano lang in-offer, yan ay binibili. Kaya mataas ang costing nila, research. Number 2, yung sinabi niya talaga, once you research, nakausap mo na, negotiation. Alam mo, isang character trait kasi minsan ng tao, nahihiya. Nahihiya na tumawad.
Pwede ka naman tumawad na nakangiti.
Oo, yun. Ako hindi eh. Ano eh, masungit ako.
Masungit kasi mukha mo, kaya hindi ka pinagbibigyan.
Oo nga eh. Let's do a role-playing right now. Role-playing tayo.
Role-play, okay.
Oh, yung parang kunyari, magne-negotiate tapos tatawaran mo ako. Sige. Kunyari, magbebenta ako ng painting. Painting.
Painting.
Painting.
Okay.
Oo. 150,000. Kunyari, offer ko, itong painting nito, 150,000.
Sige, baka pwede mo bigay sa akin 75,000 na lang.
Oh, grabe ka.
Pero ito. Alam mo naman ako, influencer din ako. Pag binili ko yan sa'yo at na-promote ko yung painting mo at saka yung painter, yung value niyan would increase because it can reach a lot more people. So it gives value to you for your other collection, hindi lang para dito. Pwede ba yan?
O, tingin mo, nakangiti na naman sa akin, no? Grabe naman, 50% ang hinihingi mong discount.
I think it's not about the price that you will get right now. It's the value of the business that you will receive afterwards. Hindi, totoo yan, di ba? Importante sa tao rin kasi, when you negotiate, may win-win situation.
Okay.
For example, magkano to? Sabihin niya, wholesale price, 100. Sabihin mo, instead na isang dosena bibilhin ko sa'yo, 50, pero pwede mo magawing 90. Pero kung hindi, kung gusto mo 100 talaga, 12 lang bibilhin ko. Or, babalik ako, ikot ako. Di ba? So, I'm giving you additional value when I negotiate because I'm gonna buy 4 times more the amount, the pieces compared doon sa in-offer mong una. So, ikaw rin, pwede na rin kasi kaysa nasa bodega ko lang, sige, bigay ko na sa'yo. Parehas tayong masaya.
So,
when we negotiate, it's not about parang you want to get the lowest price, but also giving value to the other party.
so guys,
You always think, di ba, in terms of kasi tao, we don't always think na tayo makakagulang or we always think, how can I also bring
Benefit.
value or
Oo.
benefit
Galing.
to the one that you're negotiating?
yan ba yung natutunan mo yun when you were still in Divisoria? Ganun.
I think through experience ito, I've been an entrepreneur for mag-50 na ako eh. So, almost more than 40 years of experience.
Okay.
So when we do business, and I think a lot of people that do business with us benefit long term. No? They grow. So we help each other out.
Yeah. Balik na rin naman natin.
So sa akin, parang hindi lang itong transactional.
Oo.
Gawin kitang, ikaw magiging supplier ko na eh.
For
o di ba?
matagalan.
Pang matagalan. Suportahan mo rin ako.
Yeah.
So maganda yung impact ng, when you negotiate, you just not only look at it as a per transaction.
Yeah.
But also, you try to build a relationship. Ito yung dadalhin kong negosyo ko, dadalhin ko to sa Pilipinas. Magkakaroon ka ng opportunity para yung produkto mo ma-share sa buong Philippine market. O di ba? Ano ba yung additional less 5 pesos or 10 pesos? Parang ganyan.
Guys, ito lang, I hope that you will learn from this principle, no? Kasi minsan, masyado tayong emotional eh. Like for example, may kausap akong parang karpintero, pinapapakyaw ko. Oh, pakyaw na lang ng ganito. Eh, alam ko naman, they can finish it in 3 to 4 days. Tapos sinabi ko, pakyaw na lang, 800 per day times 4 days, 3,000. Sabi ko, kung pwede, sige, pakyaw na lang natin 2,000. Tapusin mo, 1 to 2 days, basta 2,000 tayo. Sir, lugi ako eh. Lugi. Then come to think of it, nabalitaan ko. 1 month siya walang work. Parang ang point ko lang, hindi lahat kasi, pagka-feeling mo lugi ka, aayawan mo, di ba? Na hindi mo alam, it will open more opportunities and doors eh. Di ba? So right now, since yan nakakuha na tayo ng tip. Number 1, research. Number 2, learn how to negotiate. Grabe. Ito naman.
Can I add one more thing?
Go.
Word of mouth is one of the most important, I would say, powerful marketing tool. When someone refer to you or nagbigay ng good word of sa'yo, no money can buy. So I use that to help, nagpagawa kasi ako ito naalala ko to, nagpagawa ako ng landscape sa bahay ko. Sobrang ganda, good price. Sabi ko, I'll refer. Ipopost ko yan. Sabi ko, ipopost ko. So pinost ko hanggang ngayon. Huling nakausap ko siya few months, punong-puno siya ng kliyente dahil na-refer ko siya. Kasi ang ganda rin ng gawa niya.
So nasa-showcase kasi pag pumupunta saan, ang ganda ng landscape, sino gumawa?
Hindi, pinost ko na nga lang sa Facebook, doon na nga siya. Hindi na nga kailangan dumaan pa sa akin eh.
Oh, okay.
Tinag ko siya, tapos sabi nga niya, yung post na yon was able to bring him so much business. Sabi ko, kasi mabait ka rin sa akin. Hindi mo ako tinaga, inaayos mo yung asikaso mo, yung negosyo mo. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, pag nagne-negosyo tayo, importante, we give our best so that people will give you. Sa akin, you need to give me, sir, bigyan kitang referral fee. Wala. Sa sobrang saya ko sa trabaho niya, ako na yung nag-recommend. And I think sa negosyo, kailangan ganun eh. You know, when we talk about, for example, sa great deals, we handle 500 plus brands. Chiki, hula mo, ilan ang sales ko?
20, 30?
Isa.
Ha?
Hanggang ngayon.
Sino?
Ha?
Sino?
O, papakilala ko.
Mamaya.
Wala dito,
Siya lang, isang tao lang.
Isang tao lang yun. O, magugulat ka, paano nangyari yun? Laki-laking kumpanya namin, di ba? Because of word of mouth. Because of referral. Noong time na yun, bago siya na-hire ko siya December 2019. So before that, dalawa lang kami. Ako at saka yung isang manager ko. Wala pa kaming dedicated sales. No? Nung nagkaroon na ako ng bago ako nakapag-hire ng dedicated sales director ko. So, for the longest time, nagdo-double hat pa nga siya kasi hindi lang siya pure sales. Ano pa? No? Because ang nangyayari, if you do your work, you do your business well, your customers will be the one to sell for you.
Siguro guys, no, lalo na kung magnenegosyo kayo, importante talaga yung integrity and your your word of honor. Kasi 'di ba pagka kumalat yan, ay naku, wag ka makipagnegosyo diyan. Magugulangan ka, maiisahan ka. Siyempre 'di ba magtatanong yan, ano sa palagay mo? 'Di ba? Hindi maganda. Ang kagandahan with you, yun nga, maganda yung foundation mo. That's the reason why nare-refer ka. So right now, let's go naman to the Okay, Divisoria. Nasaktan ka kasi nga na-offend ka, na pinababantay ka. Tell me your journey naman, paano mo naman naumpisahan itong Great Deals e-commerce? Okay, pero bago natin siguro daanan yan, ano pa yung proseso muna? Ang dami mong pinagdaanan eh. Grabe to guys. Nakita ko talaga to nung payat pa siya. Payat-payat pa. Grabe talaga, no? Yung nagkasama.
Sige, hindi na ako makahinga kasi sirayo payat ako, nagpapalit ako ng lutsan.
Nung nagkasama tayo for so many years, 'di ba? Ang galing talaga. Ito I really he's really such a great salesperson. Not only a salesperson, but a great leader. Sobrang galing. At saka nagawa mo kung ano ginagawa ko sa bahay, dinuplicate mo lang Galing.
Copy paste lang.
Oo. And then from there, pumasok ka sa sales, 'di ba?
So I met Chinky. So 3 years ako nag-network marketing sa Issue Genki Esqualin. Yan, isa sa mga background ko. And then, I did 10 years as an insurance person.
10 years?
10 years yan.
Oo.
From insurance agent to having my own agency.
And FYI, ibabrag ko lang siya yung pinakaunang MDRT sa organization na yun.
Pro Life UK.
Di ba? Ikaw ang pinakauna Hindi ko talaga makalimutan yun. Sobra akong proud nun. From there, ano na nangyari?
So, a little bit of background, why I went into the insurance industry. So, I got married first. I want to have my own destiny, kumbaga, journey outside of my parents' business. So, nag-live and cleave ako. But then 2 years into, I think, or 3 years into my marriage, I got in debt. Nabaon ako sa utang.
Okay.
Yan yung kwento ko talaga na I had my desert experience. No? Nabaon ako sa utang ng 32 million pesos.
Oh, no. So, it means ito na siguro yung pinaka-bad, yung biggest money mistake mo.
I think, yes, one of the biggest money mistake.
One,
Of course, you have a lot of learnings. The Lord keeps on teaching us naman eh.
Grabe.
Hindi, pero ito talaga yung, I would say, major.
Oo.
No? Kasi it changed my lifestyle, it changed how I view things. Yung 32 million na yon nung nabono ako sa utang, ito, may table ako. Maganda yung table ko, nara yun, tsaka upuan. Dumating yung kamag-anak ko. Sabi niya, Steve, bayaran mo na utang ko. Sabi ko, Auntie, gusto mo, kunin mo na lang kumuha ka na kahit ano gusto mo kunin sa bahay, wala akong pambayad. Kinuha niya yung table tsaka yung chair ko. Wala akong sama ng loob kasi sa bawas utang yan eh. Na-presyohan ko pa na gusto kong presyo, di ba? Pero ganun talaga yung impact.
Ano yung feeling?
And even during that time, panahon na yun, NFA rice yung pinapakain ko sa anak ko. Ano yung NFA rice? Yung maraming bato-bato pa. It was a desert experience. And for so long, I was already in church. Christian already. I have my D group. I called up my pastor. Sabi niya, if it take you a lifetime to pay it. Sabi ko, yes, pastor, I'll do it. So I started paying off my debt. And alam mo, ang buhay kasi, 2 to 3 years ka nagbabayad. Parang unang taon, dalawang taon, parang ano ka pa eh, kaya ko to, mababayaran ko to. Siyempre, ano pa rin. Pero you get depressed. You get discouraged.
Oo naman.
On the 4th and 5th year, nakikita ko na yung mga kaibigan ko, may bahay na, may bagong kotse,
Ikaw
nakaangat na sa buhay. Ako nagbabayad pa rin ako ng utang. No? So sa akin, those were the trying times. Desert experience nga. Kaya nga sabi ko, when I found out about e-commerce, yan yung umpisa nung going to the promised land.
Pero
That was
how long
So it took me 12 years to pay off all of my debt.
Grabe.
So sabi ko talaga, Lord, wag naman ako katulad ni Moses na 40 years magbabayad. 12 years lang kay Joseph, pwede na.
Grabe.
So after 12 years, I was debt-free,
Wow.
able to pay all of my debt. So that was start ng e-commerce journey ko.
Kasi kung bago tayo pumunta sa e-commerce journey, I just want to take this opportunity kasi may nakikinig at nanonood ngayon na lubog din sa utang. Diba? Probably ngayon, ikaw lubog ka sa utang, tapos bigla narinig mo tong utang niya, 32 million. Diba? Parang feeling, ha? Maliit lang pala. So, can you give them parang yung mindset, paano ka nakalabas, di ba? Siyempre, maraming nade-depress.
Oh, ako, it's a reality. You get discouraged. You get depressed. Minsan, tamad na ako magnegosyo. Tamad na ako magbenta ng insurance kasi lahat ng kinikita ko, kahit MDRT ako, binabayad ko lang sa utang ko.
Tama. Parang walang napupunta.
Wala talaga. Di ba? Parang every month, I have to give out certain amount of my income para mabayaran ko lang yung mga utang ko. Yun nga, sabi nga be faithful on those things. And then I was hopeful. Sabi ko, Lord, alam ko one day, I've seen it in the Bible, I've been encouraged by my peers to continue to move on. Na one day, mahihit mo pa rin yung promised land. And anytime God can do something extraordinary for that. And sa akin, yung 12 years ko in the desert is God's way of preparing me for this extraordinary blessing that has given me in my business. So sa akin, alam mo, I always share this eh. I was writing a check for 32 million pesos for a PO.
Ngayon.
Few years ago. Sabi ko, honey, tignan mo.
Ah.
How God is so gracious. Dati hindi natin alam kung paano ko mababayaran yung
32 million. Ngayon, nag-i-issue ka.
Isang issue lang ako ng cheque, 32 million. So sabi ko nga, God's promises, God's plan for you is way, way bigger than whatever we can imagine. If you'll ask me, Chinky, I never imagined my business will this big. Ganito kalaki. What God has given me, we just be faithful steward kung anong gusto niya. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, tayo, pag nagne-negosyo tayo, yes, maraming ups and downs as a business. Even, sinasabi ko nga sa tao, nasa promised land na ako ngayon sa great deals. But still, when you're in the promised land, there are still challenges.
Yeah, meron pa rin.
Kasi there are still giants in the promised land that you have to conquer.
Tama.
Diba? Pero at least sa promised land na. Pero it doesn't stop there. Our journey, our lessons, our relationship with Christ doesn't stop when our problems end.
Yeah.
It continues.
Yeah.
No? Yun na yung parang encouragement ko. During those tough times, I was part of a church, I was part of a D group, and I really would like people to experience it na talagang there are groups, there are people, there's community that can help you in your struggle sa buhay.
Yeah.
At hindi habang buhay, nasa desert lang tayo.
Uy guys, ito lang, I want to take this moment, no. I don't want to miss this moment. Kung nakikinig at nanonood ka, sobrang nalulungkot ka, nawalan ka ng pag-asa, nade-depress ka sa financial situation mo, lubog ka talaga sa utang, nagkamali ka. Alam mo, there's hope. For Steve to say, alam mo, habang kinikwento niya to ako, I get emotionally moved and medyo nakikita ko, teary-eyed din siya. Hindi mo lang makikita kasi singkit siya, no? Pero napapaaluha siya. He says holding back his emotions. Pero feel namin kayo. Lalo na feel ka ni Steve ngayon. I want to encourage you not to lose hope. If God can deliver him out of Egypt and drought and the land of slavery, di ba? On the desert, He can also bring you out to the promised land. So right now, let's transition sa promised land, sa great deals, e-commerce. Sige nga, kwento.
Ano gusto mong malaman?
hindi nga.
So I was debt-free?
Oh, hindi ka pa nag-debt-free.
No, wala pang great deals.
Kaya nga.
So after 12 years of doing, so I was doing insurance.
Oo.
Binenta ko yung insurance agency ko. Technically, nung nabenta ko yung insurance agency ko, doon ako na debt-free.
So
Kasi
yun.
nabenta ko yung ahensya ko eh.
So, yun yung parang nagbayad sa'yo para wala ka na utang.
Parang nalinis ko na.
Okay.
Tapos may kunti akong puhunan.
Okay.
I started...
Magkano?
Maliit lang.
Kaya nga, magkano yun?
Wala pa yata 1,000,000.
Pero malaki na yun para sa ibang tao.
Pero, I started going to China at nagpaparating ako ng stock. Cellphone accessories, mga ganyan. And then, tayo ako ng mga tindahan sa mall. Pero ang ginawa ko talaga was, naumpisahan ko yan, 2012.
Okay.
Pinangalan ko yung pangalan ng kumpanya ko, Great Deals Marketing. Sole proprietor pa siya. Great Deals Marketing. Nagbebenta ako sa Cash Cash Pinoy, Groupon, saka Ensogo.
Grabe,
Ayan,
no?
the infancy stage.
Ang tanda mo na.
Ha? Kung naalala nyo pa yun, no?
Patay na mga yun.
Patay na. Huwag mo na sabihin patay. Nagsarado na yung
Wala
mga
na,
negosyo.
wala na,
no?
wala na. Oo.
But during that time, parang I was selling, I think, I was one of the first seller ng power bank sa Ensogo.
Wow.
Gulat ako kasi 1,000 orders. Yung, di ba may mga deal sila?
Oo,
Tapos dadating 1,000 orders. Ganun pa yun. Parang 4,800 mAh lang yata yun. 2,600 pa nung time na yun. Sobrang liit pa nung mga battery nung time na yun. No? That was the infancy stage of e-com. And I was one of the suppliers sa mga deal site. No? Aside from the, meron akong store na USB World ang pangalan sa mga malls. November 11, 2014 was my light bulb moment.
Light bulb mo.
Light bulb moment. Kasi I have a few thousand power banks sa warehouse ko for December peak sale.
Tama.
Di ba? Gulat ako, 11/11/2014. Simot, nabenta lahat
Okay.
sa Lazada.
Okay.
Yung power bank ko.
Okay.
So may malaking problema ako, wala na akong ibebenta sa tindahan.
Walang stock.
Wala na akong ibebenta kasi galing pa China, kailangan pa
Tama,
parating. Everything.
tama,
Nagulat
tama.
ako na libo yun, ubus sa isang araw.
Wow.
So sabi ko, anong animal tong e-commerce na to?
Oh.
So doon ako I want to study this. And then I realized this is gonna be the future.
That's 2014.
That's 2014. Yung Lazada noon, kala ng tao, swimming class pa yun. Alam mo yun?
Oo.
Lazada.
Lozada yun eh. Lozada yun eh. Okay.
No? That was my light bulb moment and the start of me being as an online seller. On January 2015, I was at the bazaar. Katabi ko yung Giga, yung God is good always na virgin coconut oil.
Oo.
Lakas magbenta.
Kilala ko yun. Kilala.
Ang lakas niya ng benta.
Oo. Sila Piping yata.
Si Piping. So, nilapitan ko yung may-ari. Kasi open for franchise. So, sabi ko, sir, can I be your e-franchisee? Yun yung word na
Nax
ginamit ko.
naman. Oo.
I will not open a physical store, but I will open an
Online.
online store for you.
Oh.
And wala naman siyang alam sa online nung time.
Oo nga.
Pumayag.
Wow.
Yun yung concept that started Great Deals.
Oh.
Handling other brands online.
Galing.
Pero sa totoo lang, nakita ko lang maganda benta yan. Nakita ko opportunity. Yun lang naman talaga. Di ba? Wala namang, gumawa ka ba ng market research? Ano? No, I just saw the opportunity, open it up, nag-franchise ako ng virgin coconut oil. I bought yung item and then just post it online. That was my first brand na hinandle ko for Great Deals.
Okay.
Pinaka nung time na yon was nagpaparating ako from China, di ba? So I white label. So instead na normal product, nililabel ko, nilalagyan ko ng brand yung mga produkto ko. Tapos yun ang binebenta ko. So that was the start of my online journey. So from 8 employees, I started from 8 employees.
Wow. Kasama na yung packing team ah.
Kasama na yung packing team. 8 empleyado yan. I think the first 6 months, 8 months, 8 employees ako.
Ngayon.
Right now, for Great Deals, we're around 400. We have yung picker and packers kasi namin nasa agency. We have more than 1,000.
Wow.
No? So, 400 plus 1,000 plus.
1,400 people pa
Mga
rin.
ganun na.
Grabe.
But it goes up to 3,000 pag mga
Pag peak
campaign.
season. Pag peak season.
Pag mga double-double. Ngayon, 4-4.
4-4.
Oh, yan. Mas maraming tao yun sa work.
Ito lang kasi marami namang we're really so encouraged, no? I'm so really so happy and encouraged sa nangyari sa iyo kung ngayon dito. Pero gusto naman natin turuan yung mga taong gusto mag-online na mag-umpisa. Marami naman kasi, di ba? Turuan mo naman sila kung paano mag-umpisa ng online pagbebenta.
Sa ngayong panahon, there's a lot of changes. So you can be two ways eh. You can become a digital entrepreneur or you can be I would say, a brand owner. Ayaw ko lang maging online seller ka. Kasi ang online seller, patayan ng presyo yan. You don't own any brand, you cannot price it right. Kahit maganda customer service mo, hindi nila alam yung tindahan mo kasi wala kang brand. Being a brand owner is a vital part so that may sustainability yung negosyo mo.
Ito
So,
yung
sample.
pag sinasabi mo brand owner, syempre may sarili siya, may puhunan na yun.
So, may puhunan na yun. No? Two things kasi. You can be a digital entrepreneur. So, digital entrepreneur, like for us, we have a lot of brands and we look for affiliate marketeers. When we say affiliate marketeers, content creators, gumagawa ng videos. Kung yung mukha mo hindi mabenta, pwede ka na gumawa ng video na ibang mukha ng tao, di ba? But we partner with them to promote the brands that we are selling. May digital agency kami that handles affiliate na called Shopper Stars. You can be part of that community. We'll help you out. Typically, affiliates earn 10 to 15% whatever they sell in their channel
Wow.
or in their content. Especially using TikTok lang, you can be an affiliate. You can look at TikTok, how to be an affiliate. Marami nagtuturo na sa YouTube. You can learn it and then start creating your own show or your own content na nakalink yung mga produkto.
Ito lang nga, just to, parang may perspective kayo. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng affiliate, promote ka lang ng product, pagkatapos niyan, pag may pumili sa shop mo, hindi ikaw magpapak, hindi ikaw mag-ship, hindi ikaw magkokolekta, may commission siya.
Tama. May commission ka.
So, zero puhunan
So,
talaga.
sample, Maybelline. Gumagamit ka ng lipstick ni Maybelline o skin, ng ano. Pag pinomote mo yan, pwede ka gumawa ng yellow basket doon sa content mo. Pag may kilik ng tao doon, may commission ka na from that product. And right now,
Yan ang digital entrepreneur na sila.
yan yung the rise of digital entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Because we've seen it from 2 years ago up to now, exponential ang growth.
Kwento ka ng mga yung mga stories na magkano kinikita, paano na bago buhay nila.
Typically, people earn 30 to 40K a month, no? Yan yung mga nakakahalubilo namin. Because, for example, we have certain brands that they want to promote. But there are certain agency, kasi tinatawag namin agency, kasi hindi siya isang tao. Parang isang team na siya na nagla-livestream, binibenta lang niya yung produkto, no? Yun, kumikita yun ng mga per month, 300, 400, 500,000
Wow.
a month. No? Sample, I'll give you example. No? Pag punta ka ng TikTok, makita mo yung Nestle. From 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, meron nag-promote yan ng live stream ng
Okay.
Milo at saka Bear Brand.
Tama, napapanood ko yun.
O, di ba?
Bumili na ako eh.
Walang kupas. 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, kada ganun mo, merong magbebenta ng Nestle product. Trabaho ko yan. Trabaho ko, from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight, available dapat yung produkto ko. Now, how do we do it? We partner with different affiliates that does the live stream. So, merong dedicated, merong hindi. Or what we call multi-channel network. Kasi kung team ka, syempre, mas malaki yung, the sales will be higher. Commission lang rin naman sila. Pero ang laki ng mga commission nila. Because may setup sila. No? So, you can do that also. Kaya sabi ko, sa dami ngayon, halos lahat, opening up different studios and we partner with different teams.
Sige, let's right now go naman to the next one, yung brand owner. Paano naman yun?
Well, kasi, alam mo, kailangan natin mag-evolve from an online seller to a brand owner. If you're listening to all online sellers, I grew my business sa Lazada. I have New York sneakers. Explain ko lang as early as 2015, I set up, instead of product-centric, na kailangan mo hanapin yung winning product all the time, I started building brands. So what do I mean? For example, New York sneakers was a case study sa Lazada. Dahil 2015, maaga pa lang, what I did was, I just woke up one day, para magbenta nga ako ng sapatos. Nagparating ako ng 10,000 pairs from China. Pinost ko sa Lazada lahat. So, from page 1 to page 10, nag-search ka ng sneakers, rubber shoes, page 1 to 10, produkto ko lang lahat yun. We were awarded Lazada King of Fashion. Tinalo namin yung SM store sa Lazada. Mas malakas pa benta namin yung New York sneakers na yun. So we were the number 1 fashion brand sa Lazada 2015, 2016. 2 years yan. No? Kaya nakapunta nga ako Alibaba because of that. And it was a case study na paano mo natalo yung mga Reebok, yung mga branded na rubber shoes.
Kaya nga, anong ginawa mo?
Ayun nga, pinakwenta ko nga.
Oh.
I own that category. Page 1 to 10, kami lang.
Pero sandali lang, when you say page 1 to 10,
Nang loob ng Lazada, pag nag-search ka.
hindi, ibig sabihin, hindi mo kinumpit sarili mo kasi may mga iba,
Ay, hindi. Sa dami kong SKU. Scroll ka lang ng scroll, may mabibili ka sa tindahan ko. So, ni-niche ko. Hindi ako generalized store. Each store that I set up, may pet pals ako para sa mga pets. sound bites for earphone and speakers, baby steps for baby products. So, kinategorize ko siya. And there's no such thing as category during that time.
Okay.
So, when they started opening categories, we were the first in that category. Even in wall decor. So, Christmas, pinakamabenta is Christmas tree.
Tama.
Eh, kami, Christmas decor lang binibenta namin. Yung ilalagay mo sa Christmas tree. So, naglalabanan sila sa Christmas tree, ako sa decor lang. So, parang, those are the strategies during that time
Okay.
that propel us how to sell online.
Okay.
And with all of those things, kaya sabi ko, if you have a brand, eto, meron kaming product, pinangalan ko Motor Craze. My motorcycle cover. As in, literally, chiki, mga 20,000 pieces of motorcycle cover ang nabenta ko.
Wow.
No? Na binibili ko lang sa Divisoria. Walang biro, no? Kasi naka-category ako as motor with bibibang
Personal brand mo yun.
personal brand 'yon. Yun yung inaano ko, personal brand. Ngayon, lumabas na syempre maraming kalaban. So sa akin, what I did was, nung naging kliyente ko na si CLN, naging kliyente ko na yung mga kasi baka pwede brand naman namin. So, ang ginawa ko na, syempre, what I've learned, growing that brand, I pass on to the brands that I'm handling.
So in other words, nagparaya ka na, di ba?
Pinagbigyan ko naman sila.
Oo.
Parang gano'n. Hindi, negosyo yan eh. Siyempre, na-proven mo na. And then, now they want, paano napalaki ni Great Deals si CLN? Paano napalaki ni Great Deals si Maybelline, L'Oreal? So, dumami rin ako kliyente.
Wow. So, right now, let's talk about, syempre naman, may negosyo ka, di ba? Pero let's talk about the best investment. Kung may isang investment lang, kasi I'm sure marami kasing tao curious, no? Pag successful ka na sa business, yung mga businessman kasi nag-i-invest sila. Where do you invest?
Well, personally, sa akin, I won't call myself as an investor. I think, nandito pa ako sa phase ng buhay ko that I'm an operator, an entrepreneur. Kasi marami pa trabaho kailangan dito sa Great Deals. And we have bigger ambition.
Ano yung ambition mo?
From my heart, kasi Great Deals was recognized as the fastest growing company in Asia Pacific. When you say Asia Pacific, hindi lang
Philippines.
Pilipinas, ha?
Oo.
Indonesia, Korea, Japan, Australia,
Wow,
India.
wow.
No? And I think it's a feather in hat na isang Filipino company can compete globally. Sa akin, it's a testament of what we can do. We were also the first company that raised Series B in the whole Philippines.
Ano?
Series B.
Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Okay, di ba meron sa mga investment, angel investor, seed investor, Series A, Series B.
Ang Series B ang highest ba?
Hindi, pwede ka mag Series C, Series D, hanggang mag-IPO ka.
Okay.
Pero so, the first Series B investment was Great Deals sa buong Pilipinas. No? With $30 million na investment.
So may nag-invest sa'yo ng 30 million US dollars. Wow.
No. Invest lang yun. Kailangan pa natin palaguin yung negosyo.
Okay.
So sa akin, personally, wala pa ako doon sa stage na I want to invest because I still want to grow my business.
Yeah.
And I think, importante rin sa mga negosyante. Ako personally, is there such thing as multiple revenue stream? The truth is, if you have a
Solid.
cash cow solid, you grow it eh. Siyempre, you have insurance and everything, all of the other things. But sa akin, at this phase in my life, I would consider myself still an operator, an entrepreneur, and I don't want to put on my investor's hat. I do invest on other startups, I do invest on
Properties.
properties, ganyan. Pero hindi siya core iniisip ko. Ang core iniisip ko, paano ko papalakihin pag-grow itong kumpanya ko. Kasi marami sa atin, para ang feeling natin. Sa akin kasi, it's more like, I would like to break the glass ceiling for Filipinos na the Filipino can. We're a global talent. We can go places and be a global company. So right now, Great is still just operating in the Philippines and we do have
So ang plano
global ambitions.
Ang plano mo, Great Deals Indonesia, Great Deals Malaysia, Great Deals...
Hopefully, hopefully, ma-interview mo ako.
I know. Well, anyway, kasi ito yung concern sa mga nakikinig at nanonood, no? Kasi minsan pagkakumita ng ibang tao, lalo na pagkakumita na ng konti sa business, nagka-travel, bumibili na ng sasakyan, yung mga ganun. Ano yung masasabi mo?
Sa akin, you can always enjoy the fruit of your labor, Chinky, di ba? Gaya sa akin, I enjoyed. I have my family. I set aside certain things para mas comfortable naman yung pamilya ko. Nothing wrong with that. But Ang tanong ko kasi, kung negosyante ka, ano ba talaga yung goal mo, ang gusto mo sa buhay? Kasi not everyone is built the
Ambitious.
same way.
Oo.
Di ba? Not everyone is parang, sa akin, ganitong size ng kumpanya ko, okay,
Okay na ako. Oo.
Di ba? I just like to share this story.
Yeah.
End of 2017, so yung L'Oreal was number 2 in Lazada in health and beauty category. By end of 2017, we became the number 1 health and beauty brand. So sobrang saya namin. After 3 days, nagkaroon ako ng meeting with Procter & Gamble. When we get to that meeting, bottom line, Steve, we want you to handle our online business. Pero I need around 40 million during that time to handle their business. Capital, kailangan ko ng bagong warehouse, all of these things needed. So, around 40 million yung kailangan ko. I was at a crossroad moment. Sabi ng kapatid ko, Ahya is big brother. Baka greedy ka na. Lahat ng brand, kahit di mo kaya, kukunin mo. Valid?
Valid.
Diba? Sabi
Valid.
ko, pagpe-pray ko.
Sige.
I prayed about it. Ang binigay ng word sa akin ni Lord, the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
Kung ano yung binigay ko sa'yo, you can multiply it.
Okay.
So, pagising ko, sabi ko, hindi ito greed. The Lord wants me. Binigyan niya ako ng risk appetite for this business. So, sabi ko, sige Lord, tanggap ko na yan. I was at peace na I'm gonna do
Invest the 40 million.
I'm gonna do the P&G business. The problem is I don't have 40 million.
Okay.
Pero I know the Lord wants me to do it. So that's why I asked my discipler, what's the best thing that I can do? Utang ba ako?
Okay.
Sabi niya, Steve, sa ganitong negosyo mo nag-umpisa ka, sabi niya, tingin ko kumuha ka ng investor para hindi mo iniisip na babayaran mo interest at saka yung principal
Tama.
habang nagbibuild ka ng negosyo.
Tama.
Yun yung advice niya sa akin. Kaya doon ako nag-umpisa maghanap ng investor ko. So that's why nung February 2018, I got my first angel investor.
Oh.
So, praying. You know, kasi lahat tayo merong gusto ang Panginoon kung saan tayo patungo. And for me, it's not about you, ano ambisyon mo, kundi where the Lord wants you to be.
Pero critical yun. Ito, I appreciate what you're saying. Yun nga, you have to pray and seek God. Pero let's bring it to the practical side. Yung taking risk. Yung risk appetite eh. Di ba? Parang, ang galing. Kung sino man ang kinausap mo, that is the best. Alam mo, dapat bayaran ng tao yun.
Hindi, kaya ako, I always tell people, get a mentor.
Yeah.
Get a mentor because sa negosyo, it's a very lonely business. You know, wala mo, hindi mo pwede kausapin kalaban mo.
Tama.
Di ba? Yung kaibigan mo, hindi maintindihan. So, you have to get a mentor for you to be able to, you know, grow, learn, or shorten your journey to success.
Tama. Hindi kasi, ano yan eh.
Right mentor, ah.
Oo. Hindi, Steve, at saka yung mga nakikinig ngayon, no? I always tell people, especially kung first business venture, di ba, startup, never ever borrow money. Kasi trial and error ka, hindi mo alam eh. Kung ito masakit, nangutang ka na, nalugi ka na, nagbabayad ka pa ng interest. Ang galing nung ano eh, ang galing nung advice eh. Kasi pag kumuha ka ng investor, kasama siya sa risk eh.
Tama.
Hindi utang yun eh. Negosyo to, may risk to, may percentage ka.
Yes.
Just in case, mag-work, kikita tayo. Pag hindi nag-work, ibig sabihin, wala yung pera. Pero wala kang utang.
Tama.
Ang galing nun. And then third, di ba, syempre ngayon, di ba, tumatakbo na yung business mo eh. Tumatakbo na eh. May pumapasok pang bagong brand. Ngayon, tanong ko, pwede ka na ba mangutang?
Ako kasi, sa totoo lang, umuutang talaga ako.
Yun nga.
Tamang utang. There's such thing as good debt. Sa akin, equity is the most expensive capital. Mas maganda umutang kaysa magbitaw ng shares ng kumpanya.
Tama.
Now, there is such thing as debt to equity ratio. Hindi naman pwede yung utang mo sobrang mas malaki na doon sa puhunan na nilagay mo sa negosyo.
Tama.
So, maganda yung negosyo ko. Ang mga produkto ko, fast-moving consumer goods. Unilever, Nestle. Walang paltos yan, bebenta yan eh.
Tama.
Kailangan ko working capital.
Puhunan.
So, yung mga bangko, pinapautang ako. Pero hindi pwede, yung utang ko sa bangko, mas malaki doon sa... Sa akin, a good debt to equity ratio is 2:1. Kung puhunan mo 2 million, dapat ang maximum utang mo 4 million. Para may balance. So sa akin, pag sumobra na utang ko, kailangan ko increase yung equity ko para magbalanse siya. Kasi sa negosyo, kailangan din naman talaga ng working capital.
Yeah.
Hindi naman ibig sabihin, di ba, nag-raise ako ng 1.5 billion pesos. Hindi ibig sabihin, kailangan ko may utang kong 3 billion.
No, hindi nga.
Hindi naman, di ba?
Hindi, para simplihan na lang natin. Tama ba itong, itong parang ipe-present ko sa kanila para mas maintindihan nila? Kasi some people cannot comprehend that eh. Kunyari, nangutang ako ng 3% per month.
Bakit ka uutang ng 3%
Hindi,
per
sample
month?
lang yan. Sample lang. Sample. Kunyari, kasi mga iba, di ba, startup, wala namang access sa bangko eh. Di ba, personal loan yan eh, at 3%. Pero kung kikita naman ako ng 20%, bayaran ko yung 3%, may kita pa ako 17%. Pwede ba yun?
Tandaan nyo, yung 20% nakita nyo, may magle-less ka pa ng mga operation expense
Hindi,
mo.
let's say net na yan.
Kung net, pwede.
Mm.
Kung net, pwede.
Mm.
No? Pero ang problema sa ating mga entrepreneurs, sa totoo lang ang 3%, ano na yan eh.
Mataas.
Para sa akin, kapit sa patalim na yan eh. No? Mga 1% per month, marami ka makukuha dyan na, yung 3%, marami doon sumasabog na hindi na nakakabayad. Diba? Sa akin, I don't want to, you to be able to start. I rather you start small than start big bigla. Pwede mo naman paikutin eh. So for example, yung sa'yo mo 20%, sa isang araw, 10,000 lang yung puhunan mo, kumita ka ng 20%, that's
2,000.
2,000.
Oh.
So, meron ka na, pagbalik ng pera sa'yo, huwag mong gastusin yung 2,000 na kita mo, ilagay mo sa puhunan mo, in 1 month's time, that's 50,000 already. Kasi 2,000 a day.
Oo.
2,000 times 30 days, 60,000 na nga.
60,000.
Plus 10,000, may 70,000 ka na.
Tama.
So, technically, hindi mo kailangan
Mangutang.
umangutang.
Oo.
Kung tutuusin kung napapaikot mo ng mas mabilis.
Grabe guys, ang dami nating natutunan. I'm sure overwhelmed na kayo with so much information. Siguro, one last business tip sa mga aspiring entrepreneurs dyan na gusto talaga mag-umpisa. Ano pwede mong sabihin sa kanila?
Well, una, warning muna.
Warning, sige.
Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It is a calling. Especially a founder, iba talaga. But if you are crazy enough, like me, I'm crazy enough. No? If you're crazy enough, when you say crazy enough, hindi ka magpapasweldo ng 2 taon, kaya mo yan, go for it.
What do you mean, hindi ka magpapasweldo ng
Hindi ka magsusweldo sa sarili mo
Okay,
ng 2. Diba? Pag walang kita yung kumpanya, paano mo susweldo ang sarili mo? Go for it. Diba? Because it takes a lot of risk in business. You're against the statistics. But for those that are willing to go through it, start now, start small, fail fast. You can always adapt and grow, listen to your customer, so that you'll be able to be adaptable, flexible enough to grow kung ano yung tinasabi ng target market mo.
Uy guys, galing-galing nito. Start now, start small, fail fast. Yan ang problema eh. Karamihan, panay plano, walang start. Kasi takot. Number 2, gusto malakihan agad. Ayaw mag-umpisa sa maliit.
Tama. Kaya gusto umutang bigla eh. Hindi mo na kailangan umutang bigla eh.
Tama. Tapos yun nga, ayaw nila, inaiwasan nila mag-fail. Di ba?
Eh kasama yan sa failure. Kaya nga, di ba yung mga magagaling, yung mga sanay sa failure?
32 million. Grabe.
You know, even sa mga anak ko, I teach them how to sell. Kasi ang takot ng mga entrepreneurs or ng typical Pilipino,
Magbenta.
fear of rejection. Fear of rejection.
And failure.
And failure. Sa akin, tandaan nyo, failure is just an event. Same thing as success. It is just an event. It is not about you. So it's okay to fail.
Narinig ko na yun, 1995. Di ba? Failure is just an event. It's not a person, it's not you. Sa training natin.
Hindi ko na maalala ha.
Ano yan? Zig Ziglar or John Maxwell yan. Guys, ito lang ha. Let's end with this. Ang tanong, si Steve ba nag-iipon?
Siyempre.
Oh, ipon challenge tayo ngayon, ipon challenge. Oh, ito may ipon cards ako, ipon cards. Itong ipon cards will help people to save 100,000. Pick a card. Basa. Ayan, basa.
Basa. Naku, teka lang.
Malabo na yung isa. Aka na. Ito na. Temperature today challenge. I-check mo yung weather forecast kung anong temperature sa Celsius sa araw na ito. Doblehin mo. Kunyari, 32 degrees times 2. 64 pesos ilalagay mo sa ipon box.
Nice.
Oh, ito pa,
Isa pa. Teka lang, mababasa ko pa. Mababasa ko naman tingin ko.
Ayan.
Samgyupsalan Challenge.
Yes.
Imbis na kumain sa Samgyupsalan, ang gagastusin ay ipunin mo na lang maghulog ng $3.99 sa iyong ipon box.
Yan, di ba?
Pwede.
So ito yan, bibigay ko sa'yo para bigay mo sa anak mo para
thank you,
ma-challenge sila. Ayan.
Ayan, thank you. Ipon card.
Oo, guys, there you have it. Sa episode natin to, I hope that you learned, got inspired and encouraged. Please, pakitype lang sa comment section kung ano po ang natutunan nyo, anong takeaway nyo. Steve, paano ka na makukontak?
You can follow me sa TikTok or sa LinkedIn or sa Facebook.
Steve C.
Steve C.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you, Chinky.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Sobrang proud ako. Guys, there you have it. Kaya nga, ito lang ha, pagka may dinadaanan kayo ngayon, pinagdadaanan ka ngayong malaki ang utang mo. You're at the end of your ropes, you don't know where to go, you're hopeless. Matter of fact, hindi aksidente yan that you're watching this episode right now. And you are thinking, mas mabuti na, tapusin ko na lang to para matapos na. Let me tell you this, don't do it. Don't ever think about it. Kung si Lord, tinulungan si Steve na makalabas sa 32 million na utang, kaya ka rin yan tulungan. So Steve, siguro, would you grant us the opportunity and the privilege to pray for the people na who's really at the end of their ropes, nalugi ang negosyo, nawala ang pinagpagurang pera, nawala lahat ng ipon. Pag-pray natin.
Sige. Father God, Lord, just want to lift all the viewers that are struggling right now with their finances, nabaon sa utang and everything. Lord, we ask they give them the grace to be able to undergo yung mga challenges, yung mga ordeals sa buhay nila. That we will always be reminded that you are faithful and good and that your love, mahal mo kami more than we can imagine. And that we are hopeful that you will bless us, Father God. As you promise in your word, as we remain faithful, you'll be the one to be able to, give us the strength to overcome all the challenges that we may be complete and mature. We just want to praise and thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Guys, if you prayed that prayer, I want to challenge you. Type the word I prayed in the comment section. And let me tell you this, God's plan for you is to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. Ang plano sa ni Lord is to make you the head, not the tail. He wants to make you the lender, not the borrower, but to put you at the top, never be at the bottom. Whatever the enemy meant for evil, He will turn it out for good. Maraming salamat for watching this episode. Tatandaan, tamang karunungan, tamang disiplina po ang susi sa pagyaman.